What's up guys, this is AZ Wallbreaker here and you're watching my channel Wallbreakers, here to inspire you to be epic, be legendary. Today I am going to talk about 5 ways that you can make international friends. If you are new or old, I welcome you. Thank you for checking out my channel. If you want to be part of this family of people who want to be epic and legendary in their lives, please consider subscribing. Also consider liking and sharing my videos. The last time I talked about 5 reasons why you should have international friends, which I'll post up above. But today I am going to focus on 5 ways that you can get friends internationally. 1. Have a pen pal. Pen pals has been around for a very long time, for over thousands and thousands of years. People have been using the old-fashioned way of using pen and paper to communicate with each other throughout the world. That was the old way, but today we have the internet. We can use email to be able to send out information between one another, be able to build relationships without really having to meet each other. Isn't that cool? But with this technology, we are allowed to be closer together than ever before. On top of that, there are plenty of websites that you can use to build relationships internationally. 2. Host an international visitor. Hosting an international visitor, such as using Airbnb or doing an exchange student, will allow you to be able to build friendships and bonds with a person coming from another country, because they, just like any other tourist, are looking for valuable information of how to see a certain country, a certain state or province. So having that access is valuable for them, but it's valuable for you because you get to build that bond. So when they go back to their country, if you are interested in checking out their country, you have access to talk to them, say, hey, I remember you, I remember hosting you and helping you out, you think you could do the favor for me? More than likely they will say yes because you've treated them well. 3. Use social media. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Those are the many social media websites that you can use to help you out in building your international friendships. Having these wide array of social media websites gives you access to millions and millions of people throughout the world. You don't have to stay in just one place now because you can reach out to more people. I met a good friend out in Tunisia through Instagram. We just connected by sharing pictures and showing our places of where we traveled. As I show people of traveling to Australia and New Zealand, he was very interested and he shared his pictures of Tunisia, which I was very excited because that's one place I want to really go. So having that bond now will allow me to potentially use it, so when I go to Tunisia one day, I have someone that I can trust and be able to help me, to show me around and plan my trip better. So it's really good to have that bond and access with him, so I could get to experience a culture better than if I didn't have no one and I was doing it on my own. So I'm going to take full advantage of when I go to Tunisia and check out that country. Also, if he's interested to come to the United States, now I have the advantage because I can show him around, I can help him out. I know I can trust him because I went to his country and he made sure that everything was fine with me. He made everything safe, showed me around, did everything to accommodate me to help me out. So I will return the favor if he decides to come out to the United States after we go to Tunisia. 4. Use networks. Now, I'm not talking about networks as the internet. I'm talking about networks through people. Knowing people who know other people. This came very useful when I went to Australia and New Zealand, as my wife, who had a friend in New Zealand, helped us be able to plan our trip and figure out where to go, and inform us that we probably need a car when we go to Wellington because it would be very difficult with the lack of public transportation of Wellington being so mountainous that we said, okay, let's get a car. And thank goodness that we did get a car, because it is so mountainous out in Wellington, and it's just the public transportation, it would be challenging to take a bus up the mountains. So we was very grateful to have that. Also, when we was in Melbourne, we was welcomed by one of my wife's friends who hang out with her family, but went back to Australia, was with her husband and her family, and she was very, very awesome. She gave us a MyKey card, which allowed us to get public transportation in Melbourne. She fed us a finished dinner, which was spectacular. It was awesome, and she did a lot of stuff. She picked us from the airport, she took us to the airport, and she was amazing. Her family was amazing. We were going back to our last day to our hotel, and her husband paid for Uber cab to send us back to our hotel, and it was very accommodating. It was very welcome. To me, if I and my wife did not have that network built in when we went to those countries, we would have been spending more, we would have been lost, it would take more time to plan and trying to figure out. So we were very grateful to have those kinds of networks throughout the world, particularly in Australia and New Zealand. On top of that, when we decide to go back to those two countries, we know for a fact that those networks are still there, and we can always go back and hang out and build more bonds and enjoy our time there. By travel. The best way to have an international friendship is to travel. Check out the world, talk to people, learn the language, learn the culture, try to adapt to the cultures. You'd be surprised how many people will try to talk to you and build relationships if you do your homework and put in the effort. For instance, if you go to France, people in France tend to not talk to people that they're not familiar with. So, how do you break the barrier? Obviously, you want to learn how to speak some French, you want to learn the customs and courtesies, and you want to learn the culture so you get an idea of how to adapt and assimilate. If you do all that, more than likely you'll establish a bond with some of the people out there, because they know that you are trying to assimilate and be like them, even though they probably think it's only temporary, you're just here for a few days, a few months, and they know you're going to go back, but the effort is there. So that is important, that you take the effort to be able to travel and try to understand as much as you can so you can increase the odds of building that relationships. Traveling has a way of bringing out that spirit of wanting to learn and to become a part of something different. So use that to your advantage and build that up to help you build international friends, because international friends has so much advantage, and you should take advantage of it if you travel around the world. Those are my 5 reasons of how to make international friends. Post down below and tell me if there's any tips of making international friends, and I will comment. I'm on the different media websites, social websites. Check me out. If you like this video, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, comment below, and I'll be seeing you later. And remember,